Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Thank you so much for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Friday. Hey, baby, how you doing?
Hey, I am awesome. How are you today?
Fantastic. We we got a new neighbor, and it's really funny because he's a neat guy. Len is the guy's name. Heidi brought me this note. He put it in our mailbox. It says, "I think you're both nuts. Sincerely, Len."
I think that's fantastic.
I think so too. He knows us so well.
Yeah,
No,
we're
that was
already
really
known
fun.
in the neighborhood.
And it was really cool because we went for a walk, which is so unlike us. But we went for a walk the other day in the evening, and there was a young lady from 2 doors down. And when we were talking to her, we were saying, "Well, I'm Heidi and I'm John." She goes, "Oh wait, John and Heidi from the John and Heidi Show." So
How cool is that?
now we got to behave. Now that there's people in the neighborhood that listen. Coming up later in the program, Dr. Woody Woodward is going to be on the show talking about stress at work, and he's encouraging people to take a vacation. So good news for those of you who want to do that. 4th of July is coming up Monday, and a lot of people are going to get that day off. Some are even taking off early today. And in China, speaking of 4th of July, that's where a lot of the fireworks come from.
Right.
Did you know there that it's common for them to shave pigs? Back in the day, when it would get cold, they would take a pig to bed with them to keep them warm. So it's kind of weird, a clean-shaven pig running around.
I didn't know it really got super cold in China.
Apparently it does. Cold enough to go to bed with a pig. So.
Huh.
All right. Coming up, we got some special stuff to talk about. It's on the way.
John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
Thought you'd never ask. It's Friday, July the 1st. Today is Canada Day. Hi, Canada. Happy day to you. It's also National GSA Employee Day. It is second half of the year day. So I believe that means today is the first day of the second half of the year. It's a whole new month. It's July. It is also U.S. Postage Stamp Day and Zip Code Day. So there you go. Zippity-doo-dah. It's Zip Code Day. Get out there and celebrate one way or another on this Friday, the first day of July. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
Whether you're an experienced shooter or someone new to self-defense, Front Sight Firearms Training Institute has a course for you. You may recognize Front Sight from their reality TV show filmed at this private range 45 minutes west of Las Vegas. A Diamond Lifetime membership is $15,000, but we have a special price of just $3,000 available now only at radiosavings.com. This lifetime membership allows you to take over 50 courses as often as you'd like at Front Sight Firearms Training Institute. Get this deal right now at radiosavings.com.
You know it's true because you heard it on the radio. Parents and sports apparently just don't get along anymore. A Nebraska basketball coach is advocating parental code of conduct classes that you need to go to before you take your kid into sports. About a year ago, he punched a parent who cussed at him.
How sad is that?
And poked him after a game. While he takes responsibility for his actions, he hopes that parents like this could be avoided. Believe it or not, this is the actual parental code of conduct that he has. It's sad you even have to think about this. It says, leave all deadly weapons at home.
Whoa.
They're going to a Little League game. Do not heckle the other team by saying, we need a pitcher, not a belly itcher. Okay.
Oh, come on. That's just
Do not
good
wait
fun.
for
People have done that at
no, you
games
don't.
for years.
You just be nice, though. Do not wait for umpires, coaches, or referees in the parking lot. Ditto for slashing their tires. This is seriously what you have. This is what he's conducting here.
Oh, my gosh.
Keep your hands to yourself. Limit yourself to 3 beers during the game. Did I already mention this is Little League?
Are they even selling beer at Little League?
I'm pretty sure they're bringing it in. I don't think they're selling it there. Do not ask a 5-year-old if he wants to, quote, take it outside. Another one, do not tell your daughter she, quote, throws like a girl. Well, she is a girl, and that's not a bad thing. Next, pretend the game is rated PG. Don't make your kids cry in front of the whole team. Again, this is a list of parental code of conduct rules from a basketball coach in Nebraska, and he had gotten in trouble for punching a parent a year ago, and he's saying this should be out for Little League and for all of the different games out there. So,
you know what? I do have to say, though, I'm not a sports fan at all. But when our daughter was in sports...
Oh, yeah, you went nuts.
It was
crazy.
I was insane.
I would scoot down. I didn't want to sit by you.
I know.
So I kind of know who that is.
I know.
What are you doing sitting so far away from Heidi? I'm like, I can't handle the screaming, and I thought she was going to hurt me. All right. Anyway, you know it's true because you heard it on the radio.
John and Heidi.
The John and Heidi Show is brought to you in part by the Keystone Treatment Center.
This is your brain, and this is your brain on drugs. We share silly stories here on the program, but addiction is no joke. If you or someone you know suffers with an addiction to drugs or alcohol, make today the day you seek help.
Call toll-free 844-204-1055.
That's a toll-free number. Again,
844-204-1055.
and this is your brain on drugs. A bank teller gets a little more than a deposit. Authorities say a man using the drive-thru at a Tallahassee, Florida bank deposited $200 and a small bag of marijuana and cocaine.
Wow.
They say an employee at the Wachovia Bank called police when an unusual deposit showed up. An officer arrested a 38-year-old man and found the remnants of 3 marijuana cigarettes in his vehicle as well. It's not clear why he decided to put the drugs in with his deposit. I'm assuming it's because
I'm sure it was an accident.
he didn't mean to,
Yeah.
because his brain is on drugs. I'm assuming is what was going on. So there you go. That happened at a bank in Tallahassee. That's just fun to say. Tallahassee.
Yes, it is.
All right. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
If you need an excuse to no longer do laundry, guys, maybe this would be a good excuse. A man, this is a Dutch man, blew up his house by doing the laundry.
Whoa.
So I can't do the laundry anymore, Heidi. Not that I do it now. Here's what happened. A Dutch man left his house with no roof and no windows when he decided to remove some grease stains from his jumper the man's way, using a whole lot of gasoline on these stains. Then he threw the jumper into the washing machine where the gasoline reacted with the detergent, causing a massive explosion.
Oh my gosh.
He wasn't hurt, but his house needs a new roof
Oh my gosh.
and all new windows. Can you even imagine coming home from work and our house is all blown up? What did you do? Well, I was
Laundry?
doing some laundry and had a lot of grease stains, so that would just be bad. Coming up, we have your scoop of the day. That is on the way on this Friday.
The Scoop of the Day is brought to you by Wells Blue Bunny. If you want delicious ice cream, be sure to look for the Blue Bunny. Sure to have your favorite flavors. Learn more at bluebunny.com.
Now, your scoop of the day. Mark Zuckerberg. You know who that is, right?
Yep.
What website is he on?
Facebook.
That's the one. He lives in Hawaii, in Kauai, Hawaii, or at least he has property there, and his neighbors are upset because of his fence. He's building a gigantic fence around his massive property in Hawaii. And this is the same guy that makes fun of Donald Trump for wanting to build a wall. So I'm just saying, I don't know if
Can't
that's...
have it both ways, dude.
Yeah. Why do you need a fence?
Why do you not want your neighbors
Just let
coming
us-
into your yard?
Let us come hang out at your place,
Just let
Zuck.
them come in. They're not going to hurt anything.
Hey, for those of you who don't like that rich man, Mark Zuckerberg, wait a second. What is the problem with him being wealthy? Well, maybe it has nothing to do with his wealth. But for those of you who insist on disliking the wealthy 1%, make sure you're not one of them. I have a list to a thing called Global Rich List. I went in and typed in how much I think I make. I have no idea how much I make, but I typed in how much I think I make, and I was in the top 2% of the world.
Well, of
Yeah.
the world.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Not of the United States.
No, it doesn't. I never said that.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound nearly as impressive. You know, I'm one of the wealthiest 2% in the world. Marine, I've got a link, by the way, at facebook.com/John and Heidi Show. Marine Corps renaming 12 of their military occupation titles to get the word man off the end of them. They wanted to be more gender neutral. 33 titles were reviewed. Some did not change. Rifleman is going to stay. Mortarman didn't change either. I've never heard of Mortarman.
Me neither. I don't know. Are they bricklayers?
I don't know. A mortar person would have been just fine if you ask me. I don't know. If you're a mortarman in the Marine Corps, thank you for your service. What the heck do you do anyway? I doubt that they're bricklayers. It's probably like shooting mortars, I'm assuming.
I don't know.
Not doing mortar.
I don't know what they do.
Slapping some tiles up all over. A man was arrested for trying to extinguish the Olympic torch. Did you see this?
No.
A bucket of water was dumped when they were running through his small farming town. 27-year-old said it was a dare on Facebook. So
man.
that wasn't a very smart thing to do. It's a bad idea. You know who Kit Harington is?
I have no clue. Who
Well,
that
there
is.
are a bunch of people listening right now that do. If you're a fan of Game of Thrones, you know who he is.
I have no idea.
And he wants to say thank you to whoever it was that punched him in the face at McDonald's the night
Oh,
before
my
his
gosh.
audition. Yeah. True story. He's a 29-year-old actor. He thinks the black eye that he got at McDonald's the night before his audition probably helped him land the role of Jon Snow in Game of Thrones. He said he was at Mickey D's with his girlfriend there, and they were sitting next to a couple they didn't know. The guy from the other couple was being rude to his girlfriend. Harrington defended her, and the guy smacked him in the face and gave him a black eye. Next day, he shows up for the audition and ended up getting it, and he thinks that a lot of it had to do with the fact that, he fit the role of who this guy was. So,
alrighty then.
Tetris, one of my favorite video games
you love
ever.
that game.
And I don't even understand what I'm saying when I read this story. I'm going to read it. Somebody has to explain it to me. Tetris, the 1980s video game about stacking blocks, is being made into not one, but 3 films.
How?
I don't know.
How would you make a movie out of that?
The film's producer, Larry Kasanoff, said, "The story we conceived is so big, it isn't splitting the last one of our 8 movies into 2 to wring blood out of the stone. It's just a big story." Exactly. I don't know what the heck he just said. I have no clue what he's even talking about.
Was Tetris a movie before?
I don't know. I don't think so. But anyway, 1980s video game Tetris, which is awesome, is going to be a movie that probably won't be. So, can't even imagine.
Yeah, I don't know how you would make a movie out of that. There's no storyline there. You just stack blocks.
There you go. Unless it's the story of how Tetris started, which is fascinating. So I hope that's what it's about, but I doubt it. It's probably going to be some... They just did a movie about angry birds, so I guess if you can do that, you could do Tetris. Going to end things with this, Heidi. Firefighters recently rescued a naked man from the chimney of an Iowa business. First of all, have you talked to your dad lately?
What's he been doing?
He lives in Iowa. I believe this is the most efficient way to clean a chimney in Iowa, by the way. Get naked and climb in there. I'm pretty sure that's how you do it. It's going to do it for your scoop of the day. Thanks for listening to The John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
This has been quite an election so far, and we've got a long ways to go. Stay informed at politicalstorm.com. It's a cool site with political news and information on the campaigns, plus a place to chime in and have a say in what you think. If you're into politics, you need to check out politicalstorm.com. Get informed from several different sources all in one place. Listen to podcasts like mine and learn about current election topics, read fun editorials, and engage your brain. It's your country. It's your vote. It's your voice. Politicalstorm.com. That's politicalstorm.com. Thank you so much for joining us on the John and Heidi Show. We've got a special guest with us today. We have Dr. Woody Woodward joining us today. We're going to be talking about stress at work and how that can affect things. So first of all, Dr. Woody, how are you, sir?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Fantastic. Thank you so much for joining us. I know this is a time of year when, kids are out of school, so they got a little bit more time, but parents don't all get summer vacations where they get to take that much time. So a lot of the time, the little bit of time we do get for a week or two when we take a vacation, we want to make the most of that, and sometimes stress from work can have an effect on family bonding, can it?
Sure, and John, don't you wish we could go back to the days of having summers off?
Oh, yeah.
from school.
That'd be great.
It would be nice. Here's the thing. So, according to the American Institute of Stress, 48% of Americans say that work stress really negatively impacts their personal lives, and a lot of that really means impacting their families. And we're in a country where we spend most of our waking hours working. That means we spend most of our time around work people, work colleagues, or engaged in work stuff. And oftentimes that could lead to us deprioritizing our families a little bit, and it's important to connect with our families. And one of the things that we can do for ourselves is make sure that we budget our time effectively to spend time with our families, and as a fact, we don't. So consider this. The typical American only uses half their paid vacation in a given year.
Wow.
So we're leaving half our vacation on the table. That's money and time on the table that we're leaving that we need to take back because we're owed that, and we need to spend it on our families.
So why is it that people don't use all of their vacation time? Is it because they're too busy, or because they don't want to take a vacation? Why do you think it is that they don't take the time off and unplug?
Yeah, I think we're in this globally, digitally, 24/7 connected world where we just feel so obligated to be working, to be engaged, to be competing. We're one of the hardest working countries in the world. We work some of the longest hours in the world. It's become part of our culture and our DNA. The problem with that is working hard doesn't mean working smart. And I think, with technology, we're continuing to find ways to work smarter. But the challenge is a lot of times when we're, quote, disconnected or away, we're still checking in and working and connected. And so for me, it's less about this idea of work-life balance, which I think is a dated idea. It's really about the right work and life blend. And so I'm a believer in really trying to take those mini vacations throughout the year to pull your spouse, your kids together and spend time with each other. And So that's where I'm actually calling you from Kalahari Resorts and Conventions in the Pocono Mountains, which is such a great place to help you disconnect because it's got one of the area's largest water parks and certainly one of the largest indoor water parks in the country. And it's a way to extract you from your environment, home or work, where there's always stuff looming over you. You need to pull yourself away from that and kind of get to a place where you can still check in and connect if you do it appropriately and in a way that isn't disruptive. So I think that's why those vacations are really important.
So getting a bunch of mini vacations could be just as good as maybe taking one big vacation, as long as while you're on the mini vacations, you're not working the whole time.
Well, so here's a fact, right? According to a poll by Glassdoor, 61% of people do work while on vacation, and another study by Randstad found that 42% of people feel obligated to check in. So, look, it's part of our culture, right? John, so we got to think about, all right, how do we work with this and not keep trying to fight against it? And so I'm a believer in going to a place where, look, you're going to talk to your kids, and guess what? They're going to be checking in too, right? They're checking their social media. They're checking in with friends or any cool summer stuff that they're doing while back at home. So you have to have a conversation about, look, let's go somewhere the kids will enjoy, that'll be fun for them, where we can have some time to really get lost in play. And that's why I love the idea of a water park. So like what Kalahari has here is this huge indoor space, all kinds of cool, fun water things where you can't have your phone on you. Because if you do, it might get wet, and then guess what? You'll be further disconnected, and that'll really cause you stress. So, you can leave it in the room. Put it in the safe if you want, right? In the hotel room. It's fine. But go down there, enjoy each other, get lost in play, splash around, and then come to an agreement. Have a conversation before you get there and say, look, at certain times, talk to your spouse and say, hey, if I have to check in, I'll do it before the kids get up, or I'll do it while they're getting ready for dinner, or at a certain break time where it's not going to disrupt the flow of you guys being engaged with each other, and make that same agreement with your kids. Look, if they want to take cool pictures of water slides or a lot of the cool African themes of the Kalahari Resort, that's great. But so there are times where they can check in and post those, but you have to set those times where they can't and just be engaged with you.
Again, visiting right now with Dr. Woody Woodward, and we're talking about unplugging and, taking a little bit of time to relax. There are benefits to unplugging. What are some of the biggest benefits to just unplugging and disconnecting from the world and relaxing a little bit?
I think it allows you to be present in the moment, and certainly being out in nature, like, for example, hiking or just going out on the water on a boat, or canoeing, whatever it is that you enjoy, it helps you to reconnect with nature, because as humans, nature is rejuvenating. It's important to be in nature, and a lot of us who are city dwellers sort of forget that, right? And you forget what that feeling is like. The other thing is just the presence of your phone sitting in front of you on a table, say at dinner. Research has shown that can make it less satisfying.
Again, Dr. Woody Woodward joining us today. Thank you so much for taking some time to chat with us here. It's been a lot of fun to catch up, and now I want to go on vacation.
Go for it, John.
Now, you were telling us about the place that you're located. Now, where is that? If I want to go and play in the water park and splash around and have some fun, where is that geographically located?
Kalahari Resorts and Conventions in Pennsylvania, but they also have one in Wisconsin and Ohio.
Awesome. Well, it sounds like fun. Thank you again. You have a wonderful day, and unplug now and go and enjoy some family time.
All right, thank you.
All right. Again, Dr. Woody Woodward right there. Thank you so much for listening to the John and Heidi Show. Do you buy lottery tickets? Maybe you wait till the jackpot is big, then you buy one. I was like that too. Like my odds got better because the jackpot was more. Well, I think I found something that actually will give me a better chance to win. It's called Lotto-licious. I learned about this from Richard Lustig. He literally wrote the book on how to win the lottery, and he should know. He's a 7-time lottery game grand prize winner. Richard plays and endorses Lotto-licious, and I just signed up too. I'd love it if you join Richard and I. You can play Powerball and Mega Millions without even going to the store. Sign up right now at RadioLottopool.com. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
There were 57 countries involved in World War II. That's a whole lot of countries.
Wow.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Phonophobia is the fear of noise, not phones, noise. Phonophobia.
Huh.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Shredded wheat was the first ready-to-eat breakfast cereal.
I love
Do you really?
shredded wheat.
How about shredded, like the mini wheats? You like those?
Yeah,
Or
they're
do you
all
like
right.
the shredded
I like
wheat
the
better?
big ones better.
You feel like
I
you're
feel like I'm crushing up hay bales.
eating a bale of hay?
It's awesome.
Yeah, I always thought that was cool too. So that one more thing that makes both of us kind of weird. You're my kind of weird, Heidi. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
You're most likely to lose your hearing than any of your senses if you're hit by lightning.
Really?
Yeah, so if you get hit by lightning, you probably won't know what happens next because you'll be deaf, most likely.
Huh.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
The price of the first TV guide was 15 cents.
Really?
And our final fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
The Hershey's chocolate bar was used overseas during World War II as currency. Yeah,
Oh, I could see that.
I could too. Well, yeah, give
yeah,
you two of
can
these,
get
one of
almost
those.
anything for chocolate.
Yeah, I think so too. I don't even want to know what you were thinking just now. But I'm going to go buy some chocolate. I'm telling you that. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Friday.
Whether you're an experienced shooter or someone new to self-defense, Front Sight Firearms Training Institute has a course for you. You may recognize Front Sight from their reality TV show filmed at this private range 45 minutes west of Las Vegas. A diamond lifetime membership is $15,000, but we have a special price of just $3,000 available now only at radiosavings.com. This lifetime membership allows you to take over 50 courses as often as you'd like at Front Sight Firearms Training Institute. Get this deal right now at radiosavings.com.
Thank you so much for listening to the John and Heidi Show on this Friday, the first day of July. 10 jobs where women make more money than men. You ready for this?
Strippers.
Probably, but I don't think that's on the list. This says here, women have struggled for years to get equal pay for equal work, but too often it seems ladies come up on the short end of the salary
That
scale.
is such a load of crap.
However, the roles are reversed in at least 10 fields where, according to CNNmoney.com, ladies tend to out-earn men. Ladies, check out this list if you want to get your next paycheck, a little higher. Telephone operators. Women make more than men. Meter readers. Women earn about $36,000 a year. Men, for some reason, only earn about $31,000 doing that.
Huh.
Motion picture projectionists. Ladies make about 27% more than men do. Library assistants. Women average 28% more than men. Funeral service workers. Women average 23% more than men. Food batch maker.
Food batch maker.
I think that's like if they're making batches of food.
Huh.
It's the person that makes them, I think.
Okay.
Just put all those words together and guessed.
All right.
Anyway, they make 19% more there. Crossing guards. Women average about 13% more than men. Construction trades helpers. Ladies make about 24% more than men. Human resources assistants. They make about 9% more than men. And gaming service workers, women who roll the dice on this field, make about an extra 8% than the dudes do as gaming service workers.
Well, there you go.
All of this from the National Examiner if you want to check that out. I don't have a link to it, so I'm not going to share it on our Facebook page. But I got other stuff that I'll be sharing there. And I posted a photo the other day, yesterday, 2 days ago, of a lady who has had enough plastic surgery to make her look just like a Barbie doll.
Oh, she
It's
thinks
kind of
she
creepy.
looks like a Barbie
no,
doll.
this is kind of creepy. If you Facebook.com/John and Heidi Show, go check that out. So all that positive stuff for women, and then I had that thing. I just had to throw that in. Thanks for listening on a Friday.
Hey, this is Tim from Hope and Faith Machine Works. Are you having one of these days?
How in the world am I going to do that?
Or even,
If I could just have this, my life would be so much easier.
well, this kind of stuff is my specialty. At Hope and Faith Machine Works, we work with anyone who needs something built, fabricated, or just done right. We've done medical, industrial, PLC, and prototype designs. You can reach us at yourhopeourfaith.com. That's yourhopeourfaith.com.
All right, Heidi, this could be potentially the grossest excuse of all time. Veteran New England mobster Anthony St. Laurent was recently arrested again in Providence, Rhode Island on a loan shark charge. As with previous arrests, he tried to convince a judge that he could not spend time in prison because of his special colorectal condition, which required him to take 40 enemas a day. Would you have time for anything else?
Sorry, that is so stupid.
On top of that, it seems he claimed his condition had worsened, and now he claims to need to have, quote, his stool removed bi-weekly. Bi-weekly, by the way, means every 2 weeks. I think that he probably meant, twice a week, but that gets confused quite often. So what does that mean? What is bi-weekly is every 2 weeks? What would you say to have it twice a week? I think you would just say twice a week.
Yeah.
Or twice a day. I don't know. Anyway.
There's no way somebody could need 40 enemas
here's
a
my
day
thing.
because
If
you don't
that's-
even have...
I don't know. If that's true, I think, first of all, he should prove that. And second of all, who cares? If you committed the crime You get to do the time.
Right.
And if that's what you have to do, then that's what you have
Bring
to do.
your enemas there. You can
There
do
you
them in
go.
front of everybody in the
Yeah.
prison. That's fine.
And I got a feeling when you're there for a while, you might not need enemas anymore. So with friends like these, who needs enemas?
That's what it was.
Okay. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
A new device might allow you to talk on your cell phone without ever running out of power. And it's not a battery. It's actually a pair of boots. Electric shoes have an energy dynamo inside the soles to generate power and then release it into a controlled way into your telephone. The shoes developed by Dr. Jim Gilbert are so powerful they can run personal stereos, computers, heaters, and navigation system. He says about 3 watts of electricity are needed to power a cell phone. The trick is for the shoe to be able to generate enough power without requiring the person to walk any more than usual. These boots will undergo an endurance test next with a walk in the desert to see if they can work in extreme conditions. If successful, the shoes could be used by military units in the future. That
That's
makes a ton
awesome.
of sense.
That
They
makes-
also have plans to market them commercially. Would you put on a pair of boots?
Well, that's what I was just going to ask you. Have you seen them? I don't know what they look like.
It doesn't show
If
me
they're
what they look like.
adorable, yeah, absolutely. I
These
would.
boots are made for talking. That's what they'll do. All right. Okay.
I absolutely would, but they have to be cute. They
All
have
right.
to be
Coming up, we're going to talk about
stylish.
the odds of some very bizarre things about. It's interesting stuff. It's all on the way.
John and Heidi.
This has been quite an election so far, and we've got a long ways to go. Stay informed at politicalstorm.com. It's a cool site with political news and information on the campaigns, plus a place to chime in and have a say in what you think. If you're into politics, you need to check out politicalstorm.com. Get informed from several different sources all in one place. Listen to podcasts like mine and learn about current election topics, read fun editorials, and engage your brain. It's your country. It's your vote. It's your voice. Politicalstorm.com. That's politicalstorm.com.
John and Heidi.
You know, Heidi, there's some things I just don't need to know. But for some things that you all need to know, take a listen to this. According to the book, Danger Ahead, The Risks You Really Face Every Day by Larry Loudon, the odds that your TV will catch fire sometime this year are 1 in 7,500. That's never happened to me.
It's never happened to me.
I'm one of the 7,499 apparently every year because I've never had my TV catch fire. The odds that you will be forced to leave your home because of a flood, 1 in 4,000. The odds that you will crush a fingernail with a hammer is 1 in 3,000. I've done that
yeah.
a couple of times. I've done it like 5 in 3,000 times.
Well, there you go.
See, this is the one that I get. The odds that your doctor is not really a doctor, 1 in 50.
1 in 50.
Yeah.
That your doctor isn't a doctor.
Yeah, that your doctor is not really a doctor, 1 in 50.
Whoa, that is very concerning.
It is. The odds that you will have an operation that requires a hospital stay sometime this year, 1 in 12.
Whoa.
The odds that your elderly mother will come to live with you, 1 in 9.
Huh.
So, your mom or mine or both? Those two would have fun hanging out, wouldn't they? The odds that your next meal will be from McDonald's, 1 in 8. The odds that your children hate school, 1 in 3. And here's a disturbing one. The odds that you will have some sort of mental problem in your lifetime, 1 in 2. So that means one of us is going to have a mental problem, Heidi.
Okay, but what are they considering mental problems?
I could make a list if you'd like.
I mean, everybody has some sort of a mental issue at some point.
I think you
should be 100%.
Of the two of us, I think it's you.
Well, I would have to agree.
I was born with a mental problem, so I'm not going to get one eventually. All right. If you'd like to know more, the book is called Danger Ahead, The Risks You Really Face in Everyday Life. Larry Loudon is the author. We've got some fun stuff to share and good news on the way. Thanks for listening to The John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
This portion of The John and Heidi Show is brought to you by The John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying The John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
Whitney and Britt clicked during their freshman year in high school, and they became kindred spirits ever since. They're like lifelong friends, Heidi.
Right.
Now Whitney has taken this friendship to a whole new level. On June 2nd, so about a month ago, she gave birth to a son for Britt and her husband, Drew. Whitney has had 2 children of her own, while Britt has struggled for years to get pregnant. So Britt started looking for alternative ways, and Whitney said, hey, I found a surrogate for you. She's like, you have? Who's that? She said, it's me. Before starting the process, the women, along with their husbands, underwent psychological counseling to make sure that everything was going to be cool with this.
Yeah.
They drew up legal documents that went over every possible circumstance that could arise. You can see the entire story at facebook.com/John and Heidi Show. How cool is that? They were saying, hey, you know what? If you need a place to have that, I'll rent you my womb.
Could do that.
I think it's really cool that she did.
I don't think I could, though, because a woman bonds with the baby while and then how do you hand it over to somebody?
Well, I don't know,
That
but
would
it's
be
really
pretty
cool.
tough.
This young lady was struggling, and her best friend from high school is the one that
Plus, I
said,
bet
hey,
her best friend didn't feel
I'm
very
gonna-
good about her sleeping with her husband.
well, I don't think that's what happened. Would you just stop it? Okay, I'm going to change the subject now to something I think is just adorable. I've got a photo of this on our Facebook page, by the way. A man attempted to sneak an iguana into a courthouse. This happened in Boulder County, Colorado, and they allow service animals, but no other animals. Security guards drew the line when somebody tried to sneak in a pet iguana, and there's a picture of him in the x-ray machine.
Why would you have to take him into the courthouse?
I don't know. The pet's owner was turned away and waited outside for his friend to come out of the courthouse. So he was just going to go hang out with his friend. He's like, well, I got my iguana with me. Yeah, bring him in. So he tried to run him through the x-ray machine. And it's a picture online, facebook.com/John and Heidi Show. You got to see the picture. It is
Although it's not like
adorable.
the iguana was going to get noisy and disrupt the courtroom,
Yeah.
so he
But
probably
if-
would have been fine.
If he had gotten loose or something, there could have been a problem. I don't know. All I know is it's time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Friday. Have a great weekend.